travel has been something that I've always been interested in. Almost the slower the better. My name's Rex Matthews. I'm a painter, collage, printmaker. I live in Lewes in Sussex. I've always been, inspired by travels. My work is, I suppose, landscape based, but it verges sometimes towards the completely abstract, sometimes towards the more representational. I think I've always been visually. I've always been the kind of person that's curious about visiting a new culture, new landscape, experiencing new food, meeting new people, and doing the artwork enables me to sort of make a living catalogue of that in a way that hopefully goes beyond the surface appearance of a place. I usually carry with me pencils, sketchbooks, watercolours, and what I try and do is try and avoid imagining what a final outcome might look like. So within the sketchbook I tend to be more experimental, I tend to work very quickly, and I suppose I see the sketchbook as a way of kind of internalising my journey that I'm making, rather than trying to create a pictorial representation of a place that I'm visiting. I try and get below the skin and do something which is more about the sense of place, the emotions, the more subtle elements of landscape that I feel. And I do remember doing a series of paintings that took a year, 18 months, 2 years, and it was following a trip that I made to Morocco. I visited a village called Chefchaouen, which is at the foot of the Atlas Mountains, and the whole of the village was painted a shade of blue, a beautiful shade of blue. And wherever you walked throughout the village, there was this kind of strength of colour, and it was almost like living in a blue glass bottle. It pervaded everything. I think the main thing about a certain slowness of approach to my work actually is a way of encourage an absorption of the place, the atmosphere, the hustle and bustle, the quiet tranquility, and all of those things take a while to sink in, which is perhaps why I'm drawn to kind of slower travel. When you're working in a fairly slow information gathering kind of way, you have a back catalogue in your mind of places that you visited and things that you felt. And it is amazing because sometimes a particular experience, it can have been 30 years ago, and yet when you see a drawing that you made on location, even a short drawing, 2 or 3 minutes worth, that particular drawing will trigger a whole world of memories and thoughts about the place that you visited in a way that a photograph doesn't. I think one of the things that I am aware of when I actually am involved with my artwork is just the fantastic world in which we live and the fantastic people that inhabit all of those different parts of the world with different cultures, different art forms, different occupations, different characteristics, and I just kind of really am intrigued by the way people live, the world in which they live, and what a fantastic thing to be able to communicate to people, or I can at least try and communicate it with people. About 18 months ago I took a Byway trip which focused on some of the best European railway journeys that were available, and I had a fantastic time. Filled 3 sketchbooks, and the sketchbooks now are helping me develop a new stage of my work, and there'll be a series of paintings that emerge as a documentation of some great places I visited.